From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, another nice warm one this afternoon. Not quite as hot as yesterday, and the dew points have come down, so almost comfortable out there. We felt it this morning. It's going to feel really good for tomorrow morning. Thereafter, get used to more summer-like conditions because that's how the 10-day forecast looks at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at that water vapor imagery. Oh, we might even have had a drone shot, but I don't know about that. We'll see. Maybe we can get that for you at 6 o'clock. But nonetheless, we have a pretty dry pattern across the region, and it's going to stay that way. Dry air here on the water vapor imagery with an upper low in the northeast, and that's producing rains across New England. And we don't see anything upstream that's going to be impacting us. This little system will move on in, maybe a few clouds as we head into the middle part of the week, but that's about it. I see no significant rain chances. In fact, look at much of the U.S. There's some light showers across the Rockies and wet weather as you get into the New England area, but from Canada on down to Mexico, a very dry forecast right now and very dry conditions. And obviously all is quiet here on Power Doppler 3 this afternoon. So let's take a look at the satellite imagery. Again, not much in the way of cloud cover going on, nor in the Gulf of Mexico. And that's certainly good news this time of year. And in the Atlantic Basin, well, we got a couple of systems we're watching. The main player is Hurricane Nigel out here in the Atlantic. That's a Category 1 storm. We'll be watching for maybe over the next 7 days, a little something trying to develop off the Florida or Carolina coastline. We'll show you the model data in just a bit. And then a good-looking tropical wave coming off the African coast here. Hurricane Center thinks that's going to develop with time, 70% chance of development. The next named system would be Ophelia, followed by Philippe. But right now, it's Nigel. But Nigel is a fish storm, and that is the good news. I mean, shipping interests and cruise lines pay attention to this sort of stuff. But you have Bermuda right here. So Bermuda's safe on this one. We have 80-mile-per-hour winds with the system. It's going to strengthen. It should get up to a Category 2 status. Might push 3 for a little bit, go up to 110-mile-per-hour winds, and then will gradually weaken. And also in the yellow, that's the radius of tropical storm force winds. And in the orange, that's where you're going to have your hurricane force winds. And notice it goes extra tropical. Still going to have wind with it, but the tropical winds will die down, but in favor of extra tropical winds. It's both the same thing when you're splitting hairs. So here you see Nigel going off to the northeast. This is the area that we'll be watching off the southeast coast of the U.S. Gulf of Mexico, high and dry, not even much moisture here to work with. Might see a shower or two on Sunday. And then as we head into next week, again, potential Ophelia showing up. And we'll watch this tropical moisture down here in the Northwest Caribbean. Some of that could head toward Mexico, but right now looks good as we round out the month of September. And we'll keep our fingers crossed on October. Hopefully no October surprises, but we could still see storms in the Gulf and big ones in the Gulf in the first couple of weeks of October. I don't see that happening so far this year. Fingers crossed. That would make it 2 years in a row quiet year. I don't want to spook it. So nonetheless, mid-60s tonight. Then as we head into tomorrow, back into the mid-90s. Humidity still not too bad, so we'll take that. But notice the southerly wind taking over. So tomorrow night's lows will certainly be milder. Look at this, right around 60, maybe even upper 50s. Oakdale, Alexandria, and Bunkie. That would be nice. But ground temperatures tend to dominate, and we have a lot of sun out there. So really hard to get into the upper 50s, but it's going to feel pretty fresh tomorrow morning. We'll favor low to mid-60s I-10 corridor, Lafayette, Lake Charles being the mildest, and then down along the coastal parishes, mostly mid-60s. Of course, Cameron closer to the water in the lower 70s. Then tomorrow for daytime highs, normal high this time of year should be 89 degrees. We're going to be well above that by 5 degrees pretty much across the board. We'll go 93 to 94 for most areas, a little bit cooler by the coast, but not by much. So overnight tonight, 65 will be your low, almost fall-like by daybreak. So get out early tomorrow morning, enjoy it, or just stay up really late tonight. Crescent harvest moon out there early, but it sets probably around 9:20ish or so. So get out there and check that out as soon as the sun goes down. And after the sun goes down, it looks quite brilliant with some of the earth shine on the darker side of the moon. Then for tomorrow, another nice, quite warm day. These days we're calling 94, quite warm. It's not hot. Again, low humidity and nonstop sunshine. So another nice day on tap. And if If you like sunshine and temperatures in the 90s, hey, we got a forecast for you over the next 10 days. Fall officially gets here on the calendar Saturday, but does not pay attention to the forecast. Hopefully a slight chance of showers on Sunday and even hotter as we head into next week, believe it or not. That's it for weather for now. We're going to have more coming up right after the break.